Welcome back to the Deep Dive, where we gather the most essential sources, articles, and research, and distill that knowledge into clear, usable insights, custom-tailored just for you. Today, we are undertaking a deep dive that is, I think, foundational for communicating globally. We are talking about essential English conversation practice, and this session is brought to you by the channel English Uncut. Our mission today is very straightforward, but also incredibly practical. We're going to break down the most necessary, everyday English dialogues.
Exactly, into these simple, easy-to-understand structures.
Right, and our commitment to you is a learning style that is slow, that is crystal clear, very approachable, and, well, fun.
And crucially, we are going to avoid all that complex grammatical terminology, the things that can really confuse you.
Yes, no jargon. We're focusing only on real-world application. The source material we have today is this really rich collection of fundamental question and answer pairs.
The basics, the things you use every single day.
The ones that cover common, real-life scenarios. So everything from introductions to asking for directions and pretty much everything in between. So let us get straight to our opening hook question. What is the single most important set of sentences you need to start a conversation in English right now? We are going to spend the next 30 minutes finding out precisely what those sentences are, breaking down every single word, and making sure you can use them with absolute confidence. To guide us through this indispensable material, I am thrilled to introduce our expert instructor. Our expert is known for their ability to provide insightful content that you can apply to real life. Well, immediately. You will immediately appreciate their warm voice and their clear teaching style, which ensures the accurate and full pronunciation of every word we discuss. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I am ready to get started. For anyone learning English, today is not about memorizing rules. It is about building a strong, working mental library.
A mental library. I like that.
Yes. We want phrases that are ready to use the moment you step outside. We will focus on the exact usage, the tone, and the clear, full pronunciation of every single phrase.
That is the perfect approach. So let us set up the process one more time for you, our listener. I will present the complete English scenario, the question, and the full, complete answer, spoken slowly. Our expert will then jump in to analyze the exact structure, the practical application, and provide detailed pronunciation guidance.
And remember, we are deliberately speaking every word in full. There will be no contractions or fast abbreviations today.
That's right. No I'm or it's. We will be saying I am and it is, because perfect pronunciation is our goal. So before we jump into section 1, if you find this deep dive valuable, please encourage your friends and family to like and subscribe to the English Uncut channel and share this lesson. It is truly the best way to ensure you do not miss any of our valuable future lessons. Okay, let us start at the very foundation of communication. Greetings and establishing identity.
This is where it all begins.
It has to.
Yeah.
We start here because if you cannot navigate these first, say, 4 interactions, the conversation just stalls.
It stalls completely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The first interaction is the gate to all future dialogue. Getting these simple exchanges right gives the learner massive initial confidence.
Excellent. Okay. Dialogue 1, the essential greeting. Listen closely, everyone. How are you? I am good, thank you. How are you? I am good, thank you.
Okay, let us unpack this essential exchange. In many English-speaking cultures, how are you is not always a literal inquiry into your health.
You mean they are not asking for your medical history?
Precisely. It is often what we call a phatic greeting, which simply means it is a way to acknowledge the person politely. It is very similar to just saying hello.
Okay, so it is a social ritual.
It is a social ritual. They are expecting a complete and positive acknowledgement. Notice the completeness of the response. I am good, thank you. We really stress the importance of using the full verb I am, and crucially adding thank you.
What happens if you forget thank you?
Well, omitting thank you can sound a little abrupt, maybe even impolite. By saying thank you, you show gratitude for their concern, even if it is just a casual, formulaic greeting. And this is key. The conversation is not finished until you ask them back.
Ah, the reciprocal question.
Yes. How are you? It is vital. It shows that you are polite, engaged, and that you are interested in continuing the interaction. This balanced structure is your foundation. So, to review, you state your status, you acknowledge their question, and then you ask them back.
And when you're practicing, make sure you pronounce the long Ju sound and the word you very clearly. You.
That is a brilliant point, yes.
That is a great point about the cultural expectation of asking back. Okay, moving to dialogue 2, establishing identity. What is your name? My name is Emma Reynolds. What is your name? My name is Emma Reynolds.
Let us focus on possession here. The interrogative word what asks for information, and that is followed by the verb is. But the critical distinction the part learners often mix up is the difference between the word you,
Which is a pronoun, like, are you here?
exactly, the difference between you and the word your, which is a possessive adjective.
So the word your signifies that the thing being discussed, in this case, the name belongs to the person you're asking.
That is exactly right. You have nailed it. Your always requires a noun immediately following it. Your name, your phone, your book. So when you respond, you must use the corresponding possessive adjective, which is my.
Right.
The full, complete phrase is, my name is, before you state your name. This is a fixed formal way to introduce yourself. It is crucial to use the full verb is and to pronounce the M in my clearly. You should be able to substitute Emma Reynolds with your own name right now and just practice that complete sentence. My name is.
Practice makes perfect. Absolutely. Dialogue 3 covers origin, another essential step in introductions. Where are you from? I am from Mexico. Where are you from? I am from Mexico.
This is an excellent example focusing on prepositions of location. The question uses the interrogative word where, asking about a place, and the absolutely essential preposition from. Yes. From is the word that establishes the point of origin, or the starting location. Now listen to the answer. I am from Mexico. We see that same preposition from, used immediately after the verb am.
So the structure is always, I am from, and then the location.
Always. A common mistake among learners is to omit from, or to use a different incorrect preposition. We must train ourselves to lock in, I am from.
So if I am from Italy, I simply substitute Mexico for Italy, and the sentence structure remains perfectly correct and, well, universally understood.
Exactly. This structure is universally applicable. Now, if you want to say where you live currently, you might say, I live in Rome.
Ah, a different preposition.
A different preposition for a different meaning. But if you were talking about where you were born or grew up, it is I am from Rome. So practice saying I am from slowly, making sure that F sound in from is clear and distinct.
Finally, in this section, Dialogue 4 addresses age. This is a phrase that often trips up English learners because of the verb that is required. How old are you? I am 29 years old. How old are you? I am 29 years old.
This is one of the most critical corrections for non-native speakers. It is so important. In many languages, you have age. In English, we do not have age. We are age.
That is such a clear way to put it.
Therefore, you must use the verb to be, specifically the conjugation am, when you are stating your age. Look at the question. It uses are. How old are you? The answer must use am. I am 29 years old.
And what happens if you say, I have 29 years?
A native speaker will likely understand you, but it sounds incorrect. It sounds foreign. We must master the verb to be for this phrase.
And what about that ending phrase, years old? Is that always necessary?
It is necessary for clarity and for completeness, especially when you are learning. While yes, native speakers might sometimes shorten it to just I am 29, including the full phrase years old, confirms that you are talking about age.
Right, not just some random number.
Exactly, not a number or a time duration. For the listener practicing right now, I would say always include years old and focus on the distinct, full sound of the L in old. It's not ode, it is old.
So the rule is strict. I must say I am 29 years old.
Absolutely correct. By mastering these first four basic, complete structures, you have successfully initiated and navigated the first crucial minutes of any social interaction.
You have asked about identity, origin, and age. You have built a foundation.
A very strong foundation.
That sets a strong foundation. Let us transition now from simple identity to the structures we need for discussing daily life routine, work, and time management. This section focuses on the what and the when.
These phrases are so critical because they deal with practical logistics and professional interactions.
They seem to require a bit of a deeper understanding of English sentence construction.
They do, but we will analyze it simply and slowly.
Okay, we begin with the absolute necessity of telling time. Dialogue 5. What time is it? It is 3:30 p.m. What time is it? It is 3:30 p.m.
Here is where we encounter the necessary use of the word it at the beginning of the response.
It is.
Yes. This is sometimes kind of dummy subject, but let us explain its function simply. In English, almost every sentence requires a subject, a starting word, even when we are describing impersonal concepts like time or the weather.
So English is not like sentences that start immediately with a verb like is 3:30 p.m.
Precisely. That sentence sounds incomplete to a native speaker. So we use the fixed phrase "it is" when stating the time. It essentially stands in for the concept of the time, practicing "it is" clearly. Also, notice the clear pronunciation of the digits 3:30 and the designation p.m.
And PM is important.
Very important. It tells us that the time is afternoon, specifically between noon and midnight. If it were in the morning, we would say a.m. We must ensure the pronunciation of p.m. is distinct to avoid any confusion.
Dialogue 6, asking about occupation.
Hmm.
What do you do for a living? I'm a software engineer. What do you do for a living? I'm a software engineer.
This is one of the most polite and common ways to inquire about a person's career. The fixed phrase, "What do you do for a living?" is often preferred over the more direct, "What is your job?"
Why is that?
Well, because for a living implies the way they earn money to live. It just feels like a smoother, more professional inquiry.
And what about the response structure?
In the response, "I am a software engineer," we encounter the importance of the indefinite article a. Remember, in English, when you mention a single non-unique profession, you must place the article a or an a before the job title.
So because software engineer starts with a consonant sound, we use A.
Exactly. A very common mistake is saying, "I am software engineer." We must include the a. And it's also important to focus on pronouncing the word engineer clearly, with the stress falling on that final syllable, engineer.
Following up on that, Dialogue 7 addresses the specific workplace. Where do you work? I work at Microsoft. Where do you work? I work at Microsoft.
This addresses the usage of prepositions for location, which can be tricky. We learned earlier that we use for a large geographic area, like "I work in Paris" or "I work in the financial district."
Yeah.
However, we often use the preposition at when we are naming the specific company or the specific physical location of a business. I work at Microsoft. The preposition "at" indicates that you are positioned within the structure or facility of that organization. This subtle difference is key. Say "at" clearly, and note that we always use the full pronoun "I" before the verb "work."
Dialogue 8 deals with routine, and this brings in the concept of frequency. What time do you wake up? I usually wake up at 7 a.m. What time do you wake up? I usually wake up at 7 a.m.
Okay, so the question asks about routine, and the answer confirms this by using an adverb of frequency. Usually.
Usually.
The word usually tells us that this action is a normal, habitual occurrence. It is something that happens most days, and it directly answers the routine implied by the question, "What time do you nuku?" And the position of usually is important for natural-sounding English. It typically sits between the subject, which is I, and the main verb, wake up.
I usually wake up. That positioning is often tricky for learners, isn't it?
It is. It takes practice. Let us take a moment to pronounce usually slowly, making sure we hit all the sounds. Usually. It has 3 distinct syllables, and just like telling time in Dialogue 5, we use the preposition to specify the exact time, at 7 a.m.
Finally, in this section, Dialogue 9 deals with duration, which forces us to use a more complex tense. How long have you been working here? I've been working here for 3 years. How long have you been working here for 3 years?
This dialogue is so crucial because it introduces the present perfect continuous tense.
Which sounds complicated, but what does it actually do?
It is used for an action that started in the past, say when you began the job, and continues without interruption up to and including the present moment.
So it means the person is still employed at that company right now.
Exactly. The question, "How long have you been working here?" asks about the entire duration of that continuous action. And the answer structure reflects this continuity. I have been working here for 3 years. We use "have been working" to clearly communicate that the action is ongoing.
And how would that be different if they stopped working there?
Great question. If the person left the job a month ago, they would simply say, "I worked there for 3 years," using the simple past tense. But because they are still there, they must use the perfect continuous. And notice the final element. We use the preposition to specify the exact duration of time for 3 years.
Practice the full auxiliary verbs slowly. I have been working.
Yes. Mastering this structure shows a high level of fluency and confirms that continuity in your employment.
That was a fantastic breakdown of routine. Now we transition into the practical world of daily life navigating shopping centers, asking for assistance, and getting critical directions.
The life skills.
Exactly, the life skills that enable travel and daily errands.
This section relies heavily on polite request verbs and precision in directional language. These are the phrases you need when you rely on others for service.
Let's start with Dialogue 10, asking for help. Simple, but so essential. Can you help me? Of course. Can you help me? Of course.
We use the word can here to ask for ability, or, more often, to make a polite request. It is one of the most basic and useful words in English for any service interaction.
It is so much more polite than just saying, help me.
Oh, absolutely. The word can softens the request, and the response, of course, is just perfect. It is positive and concise.
What does it really mean?
It means yes, certainly, or I am happy to assist you. It is an excellent, confident phrase to use when responding to a request for help. Focus on pronouncing course with a strong K sound.
Dialogue 11, the cornerstone of any transaction. How much does this cost? It's $20. How much does this cost? It is $20.
This question uses the quantifying phrase how much, which we use for uncountable things, or critically here, for price. The verb phrase, does this cost, is the fixed way we ask for the price of a specific object.
Which is referred to by the word this.
Exactly. And notice our necessary starting word, it, returns in the response. It is $20. We use it as the subject. When stating the amount, it is important to clearly articulate the currency dollars, especially if you are traveling in a region where different currencies might be used. Pronounce the as in dollars clearly.
Dialogue 12, direction 1, finding facilities indoors. A very common question. Where is the restroom? It is down the hall on the left. Where's the restroom? It is down the hall on the left.
This response is incredibly valuable for navigating public buildings because it uses precise directional prepositions. The question, of course, uses where. The answer gives two key directional indicators. Down the hall means moving along the corridor, following the length of the passage. The preposition down indicates that movement along a path.
And then on the left.
And then on the left, which specifies the exact location relative to the person who is moving. You must clearly distinguish between on the left and on the right. Practice the distinction between the short E sound in left and the longer I sound in right. They can sound similar if you are not careful.
Dialogue 13. Direction 2, navigating the outside world. How do I get to the post office? Turn left at the next street, and it is on your right. How do I get to the post office? Turn left at the next street, and it is on your right.
The question, how do I get to, is the standard structure for asking for directions to any destination. It is very useful. The answer introduces the command form, which is essential for giving directions. The phrase turn left is a direct, clear instruction.
And then the prepositions come in.
Yes, they do. We then use the preposition at to specify the exact point of action at the next street. You turn precisely at that junction. Then we use on to describe the final location. It is on your right.
So mastering at and on in this context is crucial for all logistics.
It is. Let us practice that sequence slowly. Turn left at the next street.
I am noticing a theme here. Prepositions are doing all the heavy lifting in this section.
They absolutely are. They define the relationship between objects and locations. They are small words with huge meaning.
Dialogue 14, payment logistics. Can I pay with a credit card? Yes, we accept all major cards. Can I pay with a credit card? Yes, we accept all major cards.
Again, we see the modal verb can, but this time the speaker is asking for permission for themselves. Can I? The phrase pay with a credit card uses the preposition with to denote the method of payment.
And the business response is very common.
Very common. Yes, we accept all major cards is essential service vocabulary. Accept means they permit that form of payment, and major cards refers to the widely recognized global payment brands. Pronounce accept clearly, ensuring the emphasis falls on the second syllable, accept.
And Dialogue 15, which has some key shopping vocabulary. Can I try this on? Certainly the changing rooms are over there. Can I try this on? Certainly the changing rooms are over there.
This introduces a critical phrasal verb. Try this on.
What exactly is a phrasal verb?
Well, it is a verb combined with a preposition or an adverb that creates a completely new meaning. Try on means to put the item of clothing onto your body to check for fit, usually before you purchase it.
Got it. And the response?
The response uses the specific shopping vocabulary changing rooms, which are the private spaces used for this purpose. The directional phrase over there is general but clear, indicating a visible, nearby location.
So you should practice the full phrase. Try this on.
Yes, not just try. Try on. It is a complete unit.
Now we shift our focus to fixed points in time, specific dates, deadlines, and scheduling plans. This is the section that gives you the power of coordination.
Understanding how English handles dates and temporal prepositions is absolutely vital for organizing meetings, travel, and professional commitments.
Dialogue 16, asking the date. What is the date today? It is August 6th. What is the date today? It is August 6th.
Just like telling time, we ask, what is the date? And we respond using the word, it is as our starting subject.
There's that dummy subject again.
It is back. A keynote here is the use of ordinal numbers when we speak dates. We say 6th, not 6.
Right.
Even if you see the day written as August 6th, you must pronounce it as August 6th.
That the sound can be tricky.
It can. Ensure you pronounce the sound in 6th clearly. Practice it.
Dialogue 17 connects a personal event to a specific date. When is your birthday? My birthday's on October 10th. When is your birthday? My birthday is on October 10th.
This highlights the consistent preposition rule for dates. We use the preposition on consistently for specific dates, which include both the month and the day. My birthday is on October 10th.
And what if you only say the month?
Great question. If we were only mentioning the month, we would use in. My birthday is in October. But adding the specific day, the 10th, forces us to use on. And again, remember to pronounce the sound in 10th.
Dialogue 18, suggesting a future meeting time. When do we meet next? How about next Friday? When do we meet next? How about next Friday?
The question uses the interrogative word when asking for the specific time or day. The suggested answer, though, how about next Friday, is one of the most useful and flexible structures for negotiation.
How about?
How about allows you to propose an alternative or a suggestion in a polite and open manner. It is much less demanding than saying, we will meet next Friday. This is the perfect phrase for negotiating a schedule. Practice saying, how about slowly, letting the two words flow together naturally.
Dialogue 19 addresses fixed operational hours. What time does the store close? It closes at 8 p.m. What time does the store close? It closes at 8 p.m.
We are using the simple present tense here because we are talking about a regular, habitual closing time that happens every day. Notice the verb closes requires the ending is because the subject, the store, is a singular entity.
A third-person singular.
That is right. And once again, we use the preposition to specify the time of day at 8 p.m. Pay close attention to the full pronunciation of closes, making sure that z sound is audible at the end. Closes.
Dialogue 20, dealing with expectations and deadlines. When is the deadline? It is on the 15th. When is the deadline? It is on the 15th.
We confirm the date rule here again. A deadline is the final time or date something must be completed, and since the date is specific, the 15th day of the month, we consistently use the preposition on.
It is on the 15th.
Exactly. With that, the sound again.
And dialogue 21, expressing probability about future completion. When will it be ready? It should be ready by tomorrow. When will it be ready? It should be ready by tomorrow.
This is a very nuanced phrase. The question uses the word will, suggesting a future certainty.
But the answer uses should.
It does. And we use should here to suggest a strong probability or expectation. It tells the listener, I expect it to be ready, but I am not making a definite promise. This is a very common way to manage expectations politely in a service context. The word by tomorrow is also important. It means the task will be completed no later than the end of tomorrow. The time limit is tomorrow.
And the pronunciation of should.
Practice should slowly. The L is silent, so it just sounds like should.
It is clear that mastering the words when and what time, alongside the correct prepositions, equips the learner to coordinate almost any plan or schedule confidently.
That is precisely right. These are the tools that structure your professional and social life in English.
Let us move into more personal territory now, focusing on asking and stating preferences, tastes, and lifestyle details. This is the fun part of conversation, I think.
It is. This is where you start to build rapport and connection. These questions rely on the simple present tense and allow for the insertion of specific descriptive vocabulary.
Dialogue 22, the basic preference check. Do you like coffee? Yes, I love it. Do you like coffee? Yes, I love it.
This introduces the most basic question structure for preferences. The do question, do you like, is used to ask about general preferences or habits, but the answer is interesting. They chose the stronger verb love instead of just like, yes, I love it.
Why is that significant?
It demonstrates how to express strong affirmation and enthusiasm in simple English. It refers back directly to the noun coffee. We are learning not just grammar here, but how to express enthusiasm.
Dialogue 23, asking for favorites. What is your favorite color? My favorite color is blue. What is your favorite color? My favorite color is blue.
The fixed phrase here is, what is your favorite? This structure is incredibly versatile. You can substitute color with hundreds of other nouns. What is your favorite food? What is your favorite season?
And the response structure is just as consistent.
Equally fixed. My favorite color is blue. We emphasize the possessive my and the full verb is. The specific example, blue, is an easy color to practice pronouncing. Make sure to pronounce the L and the long U sound clearly in blue.
Dialogue 24, asking about categories of taste. What kind of music do you like? I love rock music. What kind of music do you like? I love rock music.
The key phrase here is what kind of. This is used when you are asking for a genre, a category, or a type of something, rather than just asking if they like the general concept.
It opens up the conversation more.
It does, because it requires a more detailed answer. The answer, again, uses the strong affirmation love, combined with the specific genre, rock music. This teaches you how to be specific in your answers.
Our sources give us several examples of specific media titles. Dialogue 25. What is your favorite movie? I love The Shawshank Redemption. What is your favorite movie? I love The Shawshank Redemption. And Dialogue 26. What is your favorite book? I love To Kill a Mockingbird. What is your favorite book? I love To Kill a Mockingbird.
These examples demonstrate the importance of integrating specific nouns smoothly into conversation. Even if the title is long or a little complex, the structure is simple and reliable. I love title.
You just insert the title.
You just insert it. Practice articulating names like The Shawshank Redemption and To Kill a Mockingbird without hesitation. The ability to pronounce longer, specific titles shows a real conversational ease.
Dialogue 27. Dealing with frequency and lifestyle. How often do you exercise? I try to work out every day. How often do you exercise? I try to work out every day.
The question uses the quantifying phrase, how often, which prompts an answer involving frequency or time. The response introduces the vital phrasal verb, work out.
Which is more common than just exercise.
Oh, much more common in everyday speech. It is the idiomatic English term for engaging in physical exercise. It sounds much more natural. And notice the subtle word try. I try to work out every day. This implies effort and intention, which is a very natural and humble way to discuss habits, rather than stating it as a strict fact.
And every day is the time expression.
Yes, denoting the highest frequency.
It is evident that the simple structure is the backbone, and the vocabulary, like the names of books and types of music, are the variables that make the conversation rich and personal.
Absolutely. The structure is the constant you rely on, and the vocabulary is how you connect with the world.
Now we move to inquiring about personal status, well-being, and family relationships. This requires, I think, a bit of sensitivity and very clear language, especially when discussing health.
It does. This section focuses on clear yes or no questions using either the verb to be or the auxiliary verb do.
Let's start with Dialogue 28, checking on general well-being. Are you okay? Yes, I am fine, thanks for asking. Are you okay? Yes, I am fine, thanks for asking.
The question uses the inverted structure common with the verb to be. Are you? The simple confirmed answer is, yes, I am fine, but the essential conversational element here is the politeness marker.
Thanks for asking.
Exactly. This shows gratitude for the person's concern. In English, we use these courtesy phrases frequently to maintain smooth social interaction. Practice the clear, gentle tone when saying thanks for asking.
Dialogue 29, marital status. Are you married? Yes, I am. Are you married? Yes, I am.
Another simple to be question. The word married is an adjective describing one's relationship status. The short answer, yes, I am, is perfectly sufficient and polite.
Dialogue 30, family structure. Do you have any siblings? No, I am an only child. Do you have any siblings? No, I'm an only child.
This uses the simple do you have structure, inquiring about possessions, specifically brothers or sisters, which we group under the single term siblings.
And the response is very specific.
It is. The response introduces the critical descriptive term only child. This means a person has no brothers or sisters. This is essential vocabulary for discussing family structure. Ensure the pronunciation of only is distinct.
Dialogue 31, and this is vital health vocabulary. Are you allergic to anything? Yes, I am allergic to peanuts. Are you allergic to anything? Yes, I am allergic to peanuts.
This is perhaps the single most critical phrase for health and safety in this entire deep dive. The fixed phrase, I am allergic to, is necessary. You use the verb to be followed by the adjective allergic and the preposition to before naming the trigger.
And you must be clear.
You must be crystal clear. The example given, peanuts, is a common allergen, so practicing the clear pronunciation of the specific trigger is absolutely paramount for safety and clarity in an emergency situation.
Dialogue 32, feelings and emotional status. How do you feel? I feel great. How do you feel? I feel great.
This uses the verb feel. And unlike how are you, which is often a casual greeting, how do you feel, usually inquires specifically about physical or emotional well-being at that moment.
Maybe after an illness or some event.
Exactly. It's more specific, and the answer, I feel great, is a strong, positive response.
Dialogue 33, checking on family. How is your family? They're doing well, thanks for asking. How is your family? They're doing well, thanks for asking.
This response highlights a critical grammatical nuance that often confuses learners. The question uses family, which is grammatically a singular collective noun.
One family.
Right. But when referring to the individual members within the family, the speaker naturally switches to the plural pronoun they in the response.
So although the noun family is one unit, the speaker is referring to the multiple people inside that unit, so they use they're doing well.
Exactly. This shift from singular family to plural, they in the response, is very common and sounds completely natural in English conversation. We are thinking about the members, not just the unit.
And we finish, once again, with that polite phrase.
Yes. Thanks for asking. It always adds a nice, warm touch.
Finally, we tackle advanced logistical inquiries, those high-stakes scenarios involving travel, dining, and specialized service interactions. These phrases synthesize all the grammar and vocabulary we have learned so far.
They do, and these phrases demand specific industry vocabulary and absolute precision in stating information, especially numbers.
Dialogue 34, dining status. Do you have a reservation? No, we are just walking in. Do you have a reservation? No, we are just walking in.
The question uses the simple "do you have" structure to ask about an advance booking or reservation. The response, "we're just walking in," is key service vocabulary.
What does walking in mean?
Walking in means arriving without a reservation. And notice the use of the present continuous tense, are walking, because the action of arriving is happening right at that moment. This is a crucial phrase for navigating restaurants.
Dialogue 35, dietary needs. Is there anything vegetarian on the menu? Yes, we have a vegetarian pasta dish. Is there anything vegetarian on the menu? Yes, we have a vegetarian pasta dish.
The phrase, "is there anything?" is the perfect way to ask about the availability of general options. Anything implies they are looking for one or more suitable items. The answer provides a specific example. A vegetarian pasta dish. Vegetarian is a crucial descriptor for dining and health needs, and we use a colon because it is one dish. Practice the clear pronunciation of vegetarian.
Dialogue 36, hotel logistics. What time is checkout? Checkout is at 11 a.m. What time is checkout? Checkout is at 11 a.m.
Checkout is standard, specific hotel terminology. It refers to the time a guest must officially leave their room. It is vital to use the correct preposition followed by the time and the designation a.m., indicating morning.
Dialogue 37, parking location. Where can I park my car? There's a parking lot just behind the building. Where can I park my car? There's a parking lot just behind the building.
The question uses the word can to ask about ability or permission. The answer gives clear spatial directions. Parking lot is the specific area for cars. The prepositional phrase, just behind the building, is very precise.
More than just saying nearby.
Much more helpful. Behind specifies the location relative to the building, indicating it is on the opposite side.
Dialogue 38, travel duration. How long is the flight? It is about 6 hours. How long is the flight? It is about 6 hours.
How long is the question phrase we use to measure duration? The answer uses the word about. Saying it is about 6 hours suggests an approximate duration.
Which is more natural.
Much more common and natural than stating an exact, precise length of time for something like a flight.
Dialogue 39, the modern necessity. Wi-Fi. Do you know the Wi-Fi password? It is 12345 guest. Do you know the Wi-Fi password? It is 12345 guest.
This simple "do you know" question leads to a vital piece of information. When providing numerical or technical information like a password, it is absolutely essential to speak slowly and clearly.
You have to pronounce each digit.
Each digit distinctly and fully. Let us practice the slow, clear reading of that password once more. 12345 guest. Accuracy in numbers is not optional.
Excellent. That completes our breakdown of the 39 essential scenarios. Now, before we conclude, let us quickly reinforce some of the key proper nouns and specific details we pulled from the sources.
Yes. Just to ensure that specialized vocabulary is locked in for the listener. This is excellent for memory retention.
So we used the specific name Emma Reynolds in our example.
And we described her as a software engineer at Microsoft. We also mentioned that one subject attended Oxford School.
Right. And in terms of shopping and travel, we mentioned specific locations like the store H&M and the city Paris. We also covered essential personal data.
Yes, we used the address 123 Main Street and also talked about dietary details like lentils as a main ingredient in a dish, which demonstrates using specific food names.
And finally, that specific numerical data we practiced for the phone number. Let's do it one more time.
Good idea. Repeating that numerical sequence slowly and clearly is vital, as phone numbers must be transcribed exactly right.
981154324.
Perfect.
Wow.
That clarity is key.
That brings us to the end of our highly detailed, structured deep dive into 39 essential English conversation scenarios. Wow, that was a massive amount of practical, usable English vocabulary and structure we have covered. We moved all the way from simple, polite greetings.
All the way to complex logistics.
Right, discussing ongoing employment and managing travel requirements.
Mm.
This deep dive really proves that clear, foundational English, built on the precise structures we analyze today, it is the key.
The careful use of prepositions, the correct verbs, the full sentences.
It is the absolute key to successful communication in everyday life. We delivered on our promise to avoid the complex academic terminology and focused only on what works in the real world.
And that focus is what builds your conversational confidence. Remember, by zeroing in on the precise usage of the words you just heard, saying I am instead of I have for age, using on for a specific date, you have built a mental library.
A library of sentences.
The library of sentences that are not just theoretically correct, but actually usable. You now have 39 of those usable foundations locked and ready for your next conversation.
That is a powerful insight. Now let us leave you with a final thought based directly on the source material we examined. We spent significant time learning how to ask for and give out critical, personal information, such as what is your address and what is your phone number. We practiced stating those details clearly and fully. Now consider this challenge. What simple, clear English sentence could you use if you politely needed to refuse to share that personal information in a conversation?
Ah, that is a good one.
Think about how you would gently decline that question while remaining completely polite and clear. That is a next step for you to explore as you practice these phrases. Thank you so much for joining us on this essential deep dive from English Uncut. If you found value in this thorough lesson, please take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel and share this deep dive with family and friends. Join us next time for more valuable lessons that cut straight to the core of what you need to know. Goodbye for now, and happy learning.